The 144,000 are sealed in the forehead, and because of this, they can see something known as the Mandela Effect. We are all sealed in the forehead because we came here for this mission. We were sealed before the rapture. And the way that we can notice that this is happening is by noticing the Mandela effects. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. There's a phenomenon known as the Mandela Effect, and this gives us evidence to the seal in the forehead. Many of you are on the journey and you heard of the seal in the forehead. This energy, an outward force from the pineal gland, and you are sealed in the forehead, and all attacks of mind control, of manipulation cannot affect you. You're actually within the fabric of the timeline, and you could actually perceive and notice the change. Can you notice the change? People that resonate with the 144,000, they are people that realize the Mandela effects. And there are certain glitches in the reality, things that we remember, we've experienced, and we have the memories that no longer exist. Many of you have heard of the multiverse. Many of you have heard that there are different timelines. And we are warriors that came here for this mission to help restore the grid of this realm. And the seal in the forehead, it's important because that's how we all make it through the rapture. You might say to yourself, how are we walking through the end days unscathed? That's because the 144,000 were sealed for the rapture. And it's time, dear ones. Do you notice the Mandela effects on your journey? Do you remember things from your past, from your childhood, and they no longer exist anymore? Or they are a little bit different than the way that you remembered it, dear one. And many people, they're familiar with certain things. Luke, I am your father. A world famous quote that was never said. Even the actor James Earl Jones remembers Luke, I am your father. But if you go to the movie Star Wars, because that's what we're in right now, it's a message, Light Warriors. Star Wars is a message, right? And that's why this major Mandela effect exists, because the Mandela effects are giving us information that we need. You have to decode the Mandela effects. And you might be well-versed on Mandela effects, or maybe this is the very first time you're hearing about Mandela effects. But I assure you, it only takes one to crack open the pineal gland once and forever. Once you see, you could never unsee. We're out here, Light Warriors, on the front line, grounding in the energies, because that's what we need to do to make it through the rapture. Do you remember certain things on your journey that no longer exist? Remember Looney Tunes, right? The world is actually going Looney Tunes right now. Do you watch mainstream TV? Look at all the Looney Tunes, right? Many people remember Looney Tunes, right? Like spelt out like a cartoon, Toons. And now it's Looney Tunes, like music. Do you notice the change? People on their journey, right? They might not have the seal in the forehead, and they might mock and shame you because this is a glitch in reality. And it might shake them to their core that there's more to this world, there's more to this reality than you were led to believe. It starts to make people question, but we have to question everything, because questioning everything is our birthright. So, when we start to realize these changes, we could never go back. And what we're doing is we're here for the rapture, sealed in the forehead. Can you notice the changes in reality? Do you notice Mandela effects on your journey? We're in an alternate reality, and we're here to break it down. That's why Dolores Cannon called us the waves of volunteers. Wave after wave, decade after decade, we came in, right? We came in decade after decade, right? Some of you might be tuning in, right? You might be 80s babies like I am. You might be from the 80s. You might be from the 70s. You might be from the 60s. You might be from the 50s, and you're still here. I send you my love to be awake that long. We're the waves of volunteers, and we came in with the seal in the forehead so that we could be prepared for the rapture. You had to realize, you had to come in with the amnesia. This was a prison planet. Dolores Cannon showed us that. And we came here to bust our brothers and sisters out of prison. Why live in a prison? Why live in a box? Why live in a cubicle when you can have nature, light warriors? It's time to break free. And we came here, and this is biblical. And just like I shared a long time ago, the Mandela Effect is God sharing with those that are sealed in the forehead their infinite potential. You re-manifest the timeline instantaneously through your DNA in water. When I started this mission, I learned the keys of the universe through the teachings of Nikola Tesla. And he said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. We tune into a frequency, which is our reality. We are the receiver, and we are broadcasting an electromagnetic signature into the quantum field. When I came out to the front line, when I started this mission, I shared the most important and relevant Mandela effect there is. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Yeah. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. When I was a boy, my mother said I was mesmerized. I would watch Mr. Rogers every single day. And when there's a change, a glitch in reality, it will affect those that have paid attention, the currency of the universe. You paid attention to this certain aspect of the reality for a good portion of your life. It played a role in your life. And Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, he played a role in my life. Did you remember Fred Rogers? You remembered Fred Rogers. He was so loving. He was all inclusive. There's a major Mandela effect, and it shows us that we're in a different world, a different timeline, if you will. When I was a boy, Mr. Rogers sang, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood." And now when you listen, he sings, "It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood," with the serpent hiss. Yeah. I remember Fred Rogers because I'm sealed in the forehead. Do you remember Fred Rogers? Do you remember a beautiful day in the neighborhood? If you're sealed in the forehead, you remember this. This is a bigger deal than what you might be led to believe. We were sealed in the forehead for this moment in time. We came in with this seal because we are the ones that are taking back the power, and we'll fly just like an angel. Once again, do you remember Mr. Rogers and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? Do you remember it, Light Warriors? Do you remember it? Woo! A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. We came here for this specific reason. This is a beautiful world. This is a beautiful world that all people need to enjoy. All people need to enjoy this beautiful world. We came here, and I came here with a mission. I know some of you are hearing this and your mind is blown because you remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And now we're in a different reality. We're on a different timeline, but we're infinite. We came in here for this war sealed in the forehead. And as I shared with you a long time ago, we're here to bring forth the victory of the light. And this is my mission. I told you during the Rapture, the event, World War III, Commander is here, and I am here to resurrect the neighborhood. Future proves past, and so it is. When I was a child, I would watch Mr. Rogers every single day. Every single day, my mother would say I would just stare at the TV and watch Mr. Rogers as a child. And I vividly remember It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And in recent times, coming across this Mandela Effect and playing it back and hearing this neighborhood, it does not resonate with me. I remember Fred Rogers, and I remember the neighborhood. Everyone is part of the neighborhood. That is the reality that I am from. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Not this neighborhood. Not like it's better here in this neighborhood and not so nice in yours. It is the neighborhood. All inclusive for everyone. That's what Fred Rogers taught. And that Mandela Effect resonates within me. I would stare at the TV because I was paying attention. We are here to resurrect the neighborhood for everyone. What do you remember? See, not so crazy anymore, Light Warriors, because future proves past. When I shared this message about the Mandela Effect years ago, many people were not awake to what's going on in this reality. But now, this all makes sense. When I shared about Mandela Effects, and maybe you did on your journey, people told you, you're crazy. And they did the same thing to me. You're crazy. But now, we're all gathered now. And this is the evidence of the seal in the forehead, because we do live on alternate timelines and we're having this experience, and we are sealed so we could actually see it, perceive it, feel it, live it. We understand and overstand through our journey. There's a glitch in this reality, yeah. So if this is new to you, why don't you research the Mandela Effect? Because you will never be the same again. Realize that this is a fake matrix reality. Some people call it even a simulation. It's time to wake up. The rapture is now. Commander is on the ground. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Don't forget it, kid.